Alrighty, cool gray 3s in hand. You guys already know that, just looking at the title of this video. Before we even get into unboxing these things, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Make a bunch of sneaker content, so if this is your first time around, welcome, and be sure to check me out. Also follow me on Instagram at StuffDomeLikes, sharing these pickups before these YouTube videos. So I mentioned these are the cool gray 3s. I tried pretty hard to get these when they released on February 20th, that Saturday. Entered a bunch of raffles, entered the sneakers draw, didn't get them, even went to our local boutique, and the line was just massive. I didn't know that this many people wanted these things, but that was definitely the case. There's just no order to that line at all. But by the grace of all things good in the world, having a Twitter account paid off, and there were various links going on throughout the day. And this one came to us from the helm of Foot Locker. So look at this nice little thank you card. Our good friends at Foot Locker. So I say that jokingly because their website isn't that great when it comes to releases, and just their website is so bot ridden. And it's funny too because when I was trying to get these hours after their initial 10 a.m. release, they flagged me as a bot, as many others, but fortunately I had a few different devices. I was actually able to hit on Stephanie's laptop, so shout out to you, Steph. Let's take a look at the box first. So you got this unique box, half elephant print, half gray. You have your box tag on here, Air Jordan 3 Retro, silver, sport red, and light graphite color. There's an orange peel color in here too. That's not included in the box, but we're just gonna try to one-take this thing, and I'll throw in some glamour shots here and there. So inside you get your elephant print paper, and here are the shoes. Wow. The cool gray Air Jordan Retro 3s, and I gotta say, these things are very nice. So in taking a look at the sneakers, a majority of the uppers are done up in this gray Durabuck material that Nike calls it. It's definitely not a suede, and it's not quite a nubuck. I wouldn't say it's a leather either, but it's a hybrid of a nubuck and a leather, which I guess is why they call it a Durabuck. I'll try to get some shots of it super closely, like at a macro level, but it looks a little ashy. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Topaz 4s that recently released as well. It has like this sort of cracky, dry skin looking thing to it, which I'm not entirely sure I'm down with. So from afar, you can't really tell. It just looks like a nubuck or a suede, but it's a very interesting material. You get some darker gray hits, primarily these perforated details throughout the shoe, along with the back tab, and of course your iconic Jordan 3 elephant or cement print around the toe and at the heel. The thing I like most about this cool gray iteration of the Jordan 3 are the two contrast colors of orange and red. So you get your orange elements at a few of the eyelets, as well as the air at the back tab. And then obviously your red is at the Jumpman elements at the back tab as well, and at the tongue. Inside the sneaker is a white inner lining with a red Jumpman logo at the foam insole. These also come laced up in a white set of laces. I've seen people throw on an orange set of laces from like the Union 4s, for example, or the Union 1s. I think that's a nice touch. I might do that actually. I have a pair of the Guava 4s, Slight Flex. I'll use those additional laces on here and maybe see how that looks. The air unit on there is that orange to match the accent coloring. And then on the outsole is your standard Jordan 3 outsole with hits of gray, white, and that red Jordan right there. As far as quality goes, I think it's alright. I think for the $190, it's not quite worth it to me, but at the same time, it is a Jordan Retro, and that's what these things fetch nowadays. I read around the internet that these things were super mass-produced, sort of on that same level of like the Fire Red 4s. You know, just a ton of these things were produced, so when things are mass-produced, quality isn't always the best. The quality control can always use some work. So for example, you could definitely see some paint strokes at the midsole, just along with some defects throughout the shoe that, you know, is standard Nike Jordan brand stuff these days. Again, at this price point, or even with Jordan brand in general, you're not paying for premium materials or the most quality shoe. If that's what you're looking for, defer to something like a New Balance Made in USA model. When it comes to sizing and fit, I went to my true shoe size of a 9.5. A size 9.5 is typically what I tend to get in Jordans, and that was the case here. From a comfort standpoint, these are a lifestyle wear sneaker nowadays. It's not quite the revolutionary basketball sneaker as it was back in the late 80s. So definitely don't expect any sort of crazy cushioning. The air unit there, you can't really feel it unless you jump around from sneaker to sneaker. I think the comfort's pretty standard when it comes to retro Jordan models, and this is definitely the epitome of that. As for my overall thoughts on these, I think it's a clean colorway. Is it the first Jordan 3 colorway that I'm grabbing? Probably not, but at the same time, the opportunity was there for me to grab them, and I like them enough, so I went ahead and did it. To me, cool gray always looks good on Jordan retro models. You know, off the top of my head, the most notable cool gray models I think of are these, obviously, and then the cool gray 11s that are actually slated to come out later this year, along with the 9s and the 4s. But really, to me, the shoe brand that does gray the best is obviously New Balance. I plugged them earlier. A lot of the earlier videos on my channel are of New Balances. They've been having their moment these past few years, so big ups to them. So today is March 4th, the time I'm filming this video, and this is when they showed up. So it's been almost 2 weeks since the release of these things, and I have to say it was definitely well worth the wait. This is a colorway that I'm not sure a lot of people liked. It sort of brings me back to high school. And just for some context, this cool gray colorway is the first time it's retroed since 2007. You know, for 13, 14 years, this colorway was never reproduced, so there's a little bit of gap in time there. But pretty much this is a non-OG colorway, meaning that it's a colorway that wasn't worn on court by Michael Jordan. Rather, it's a lifestyle colorway, again, that released in 2007. So this sneaker actually brings me back to high school. So when I was first getting to sneakers in like the 2010 era, I remember lifestyle colorways of Jordan retros kept popping up more and more. And this one from 2007 was definitely a hit or miss colorway for most sneakerheads. I think even today, it's a real hit or miss color. For me personally, it just brings me back to that moment in time. So this is definitely a sneaker that I wanted for sure. Being able to get them for retail price a few hours after their initial 10 a.m. launch, I'll take it any day of the week. So shout out Foot Locker in this case, which is an interesting thing to say. But yeah, that about does it for this video. Again, if you guys like content like this, be sure to drop a like and let me know in the comment section what you think of this pair below. Is this a pair of sneakers that you went for on their release? Is this something that you're going back and paying resale for? Love to read about it. I've already plugged the channel, I've already plugged the Instagram, so nothing else for me to talk about. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.